Would Ike side with Dimitri or Claude? Since I made a video about how Ike wouldn't side with Edelgard, I guess I'll go ahead and do one on whether he would side with Dimitri or Claude. So let's start with Dimitri. Strap in because this is going to be a good one. Look guys, Dimitri is my GOAT, but I very much believe that Ike wouldn't side with him, at least until he comes back to his senses. Unlike Edelgard fans, I'm not going to ignore the crimes of Dimitri just because he's my favorite lord in Three Houses. Bro was literally the King Von of the Fire Emblem franchise and was sliming out children on the reg, and he said he wasn't against using his friends as tools to get his revenge. And even Ike in Path of Radiance's beliefs were a complete 180 to Dimitri's when it came to his comrades, so we'd be pretty fucking disgusted by him. Now when Dimitri's on his path of redemption, I'd say it's at least a maybe. While Dimitri was a mass murdering sociopath, he at least started to heal from it, and he was doing it in response to the Empire slaughtering his people. I think it's funny how Edelgard fans will get on Dimitri's ass about being a mass murderer, but will completely disregard the fact that Edelgard stacked up 500 times more bodies through her war, and was responsible for more death and destruction than anything Dimitri could have accomplished on his own while he was a hobo for 5 years. Ike isn't against teaming up with people who've done horrible things if it's for the greater good. Micaiah literally joined a war of aggression against a group of oppressed people that were seeking justice against the genocide that was done against them, and she made a barbecue out of Ike's army. Albeit it was against her will, so I can't really hold that against her. The point I'm trying to make here is that Ike doesn't seem like the type to hold grudges. Bro was even cordial with the Black Knight after their duel, and he was responsible for the death of his father. Also, the Bayark and the Lagus conflict and the tragedy of Dusker have a lot of parallels, and just like Dimitri, Ike saw his father get packed up in front of him and he couldn't do a thing to stop it, so he would at the very least empathize with him. Notice how I didn't say sympathize but empathize, because Ike doesn't give anyone sympathy. If Ike caught wind of Edelgard's warmongering ass, I believe he would join forces with Dimitri to smack her down, because like I said, he was willing to team up with Micaiah to bring down Ashura, and a tyrant that attacks people that had no part of the war, or someone who just outright declares war without exercising literally any other option first, will be enough for Ike to want to take her down, because she'd be giving him Ashnard vibes. As for the church and the crest system, that's a topic for another video because we know that they ain't off the hook. As for Claude, I think it's pretty obvious that Ike would take the side of the alliance if he were in Three Houses. He's legitimately one of the only characters in Three Houses that I can't find any dirt on unless I reach very hard. And I slander characters as a part-time job at this point. So Claude fans, you're pretty safe from me. His Three Hopes iteration is a different story, but slandering Mr. 3-on-1 isn't the point of this video. Him and Claude share a lot of similar beliefs, and by the end of Reign of Dawn, it's stated that Ike reunited the Bayark and the Lagus races. And Claude's not much different in that he wants to open Folan's borders and establish good relations between Falan and Elmira, and he pretty much just wants to bring peace to Falan, unite not only Falan and Elmira, but the entire world, which is a lofty goal, but also an incredibly respectable one that Ike can get behind. They're both very much against needless bloodshed, and Claude was trying to actively avoid killing Edelgard like Ike was trying to avoid killing Micaiah. And while they do have different beliefs when it comes to gods, that's mostly because gods don't actually exist in Falan like they do in Telia, so he has no reason to believe in them. Yuna and Ashura are actual goddesses that actively play a part at the end of Reign of Dawn, while Soltis is just a weird alien dragon. And don't let me get into the absolute nasty combo that these two would make. If Ike and Claude join forces, they're ending the war in about a week tops. You're essentially taking the strongest Fire Emblem lord and teaming him up with another lord with some of the highest battle IQ in the franchise. Claude would very quickly realize that this motherfucker Ike is built different and immediately put him on the front lines, and he's going to be packing up Kingdom and Empire soldiers left and right without even trying. There's going to be no 5-year deadlock with Ike present because he's going to no-dip anyone he comes across. But if we do take the 5-year deadlock into account, like if Ike was sleeping like Byleth, the Kingdom and the Empire aren't getting past Grinder Field because Edelgard and Dimitri will be there, and they're not going to be able to have the opportunity to retreat because one swing from Ragno from him is going to have them like Mecha Frieza was against Future Trunks, which will effectively end the war. So yeah, there's my take on who Ike would side with in Three Houses. The verdict is essentially that my GOAT is joining the Golden Deer and sweeping. If you've got any more ideas, be sure to send me some in the comments. Also, be sure to follow my Twitch if you want to see more content from me, and follow my Twitter too if you want to see me slander more people's faves. Also, daily reminder that Rolf no dips Edelgard. Peace out.